When it comes to talking, I'm fine. When it comes to talking about myself, even better.
Welcome to the Labor Life Podcast, a podcast series by itallstartshere.sg, a community-based platform where any Singaporeans can talk to a trained listener and genuinely share about their problems without any fear of judgment. In this podcast series, hosted by one of our Hearbuds Magic Bowl, we hope to create meaningful conversations around mental health through the stories of Singaporeans, ordinary Singaporeans like you and me, but who struggled through the so-called laboured life. In doing so, we hope to raise awareness on mental well-being and break down the stigma surrounding mental health. So, let's start here.
So, hello everyone. Welcome to the Labeled Life podcast. I'm your host, Magic Bow. Opening up and talking about mental health issue is still very difficult for many. There are many biasness and stigma regarding the subject of mental health. Some fear of being judged, and while others do not know what to talk about or how they are going through. So today we have with us Cheryl. She's the founder of Rock the Naked Truth. And she has a story to tell us today, which is close to her heart.
Hi everyone. Thanks for having me. It's going to be a long story. I hope you have enough time for me.
Of course, we have Cheryl. So, Cheryl, maybe you can tell us more about yourself and also about this Rock the Naked Truth. You're founder of it, right?
Yeah. So, I don't even know where to start. So, I'm a content creator. So, I deal with a lot of social media for work. And I'm also a fitness enthusiast, so I like working out. And yes, I'm also the founder of Rock the Naked Truth, which is a body positivity movement that I started in 2016. Oh wow, it's been
5 years.
Yeah, coming to six next month.
Yes.
So I mean, I'm always in workout gear. Today I put on a little skirt, so a bit of a special privilege here. But yes, I'm a very active person, but during a certain period of my life, for about over a decade of my life, I was just so obsessed with wanting to be skinny. Yeah, so I really struggled with my body for a very long time, and I'm just glad that I'm out of that dark space, because it is a space that I hope people will not go to, but it's probably something that a lot of people are going through, but maybe not know how to talk about it, or maybe not even know that they are facing some kind of struggle.
So, the Labeled Life podcast actually explores ordinary Singaporeans who had lived the experiences living with mental conditions. So, I believe eating disorder, which we have said, is actually one kind of a mental health condition. So, so you have an obsession for food, or?
Yeah, I think there are many different types of eating disorders. Like the more common ones are like anorexia, bulimia, binge eating, and then there's the body dysmorphia, and there's a lot of different types. And I think it's also the anxiety that people get, related, that's associated with this eating disorder. So for me I had a very bad relationship with food. I just hated food, which is very sad, because like now I love eating, like eat anything I want, but it's very sad because food is great, right? It's like, it's not supposed to be your enemy. I think it's very important that we all develop a healthy relationship with food. So for me I don't know why, but when I was younger, and this was a time when there was no social media. I don't know about now. It's like, if I had social media like 20 years ago, I might have gone even deeper into the obsession. I don't know, because I only had MTV, music videos.
Yes.
I had movies and magazines, in the past. And already I was so like, I want to look like her. Wow, you see the model, the singers and the dancers in the music videos, then they wear sexy, and you're like, I want to be like them. It was horrible. And I just kept thinking that being skinny would help me be accepted. That was the problem. I kept thinking that, I had to look good in order to have people like me and have people want to know me. I wanted to be Miss Popular, like I wanted to be Miss Popular in school. And I just kept thinking that you have to be pretty and hot to be popular. And I mean, it's normal, right? You have this group of girls in school that usually look good and everybody's all like, then like, yeah, so I was in that space, and then I came from a girls' school. I was in girls' school for 10 years. I went to junior college. So I was first time in a mixed environment and suddenly it's like, oh, boys, right? Yeah, that's the problem. So suddenly I'm like, wow, how come everybody's like asking these girls out, and then, buying them things, bringing them out. Nobody care about me. Like I got bro zoned a lot. I don't know whether because of how I looked, maybe my personality. I didn't even date at all in junior college. Like, so sad.
But were you this bubbly when you were in JC?
Yeah, I would like to think so. That's why I got very bro, everyone is all like, yeah, like Cheryl the bro is here. And then like, it was then that I really started to struggle, because I think like when you're younger, okay. I mean, when I was 12, I could eat 6 roti pratas with egg and 2 Milo dinosaurs for breakfast. Oh, shock.
Nice.
Yeah, you put the sugar and a curry. Now I can't even eat that much. So I always enjoyed eating, but I never thought that I was fat. Nobody say anything, right? Just eat lah. And then, I think my secondary 4 prom night photo, I was wearing a black dress and I had a red shawl, and someone commented that someone thought it was my mother.
Oh no.
I know. Then I just went like, oh, that's so sad. Like, you want to, it's the age where your friends are like putting makeup, discovering makeup, and then they're wearing tight dresses, and I'm there like, I took it as I look very auntie. I took that comment that way, and then I just went like, okay, never mind. And then I went on to JC, and then that was where I think the obsession became real, because I started to want attention from the boys, like what can I do for the boys to like me? I wanted the attention. So obviously I thought it was to be skinny. And what did I do? So at that time I was on the cross country school. So the funny thing is I've always been active. I've always represented the school in some kind of sport. So it wasn't that I was inactive. But I don't even think I was fat lah. I mean, I was just probably just a bit pudgy, a bit chubby kind. Not like skinny, but not like overweight also, right? It's just perception, body image is what you think of yourself and not what others think of you. And then I just, after the last running competition, like the last national schools track and field season, then I was like, okay, it was time to study for A-levels. So we didn't have to go to school or something. That was the period where I started to, okay, I'm going to do something about my weight. Because previously I was very afraid that if I lost weight, it would affect my performance. But I think now looking back, I'm like, if someone had taught me to eat better, maybe my performance would have been better. But anyway, I was still eating a lot of rubbish, even though I was exercising. So it was a diet, it wasn't exercise. Because I was putting in exercise, I was training for the school team and everything. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to do something about my weight now, since A-levels are coming. I have this break. I don't have to train for anything competitively anymore, so my performance doesn't matter. So I was running for almost 3 months. I was running 20k in the morning,
Wow.
6k in the evening, and doing 2 to 3 hours of kickboxing every day. Yeah, it was crazy. I can't even do that now. Like, I'll be like, you think I got a lot of time. And then, so what happened was, I would wear like PE attire, put on track pants, put on a track jacket, so that I would perspire more. Sometimes I would even run at 12 noon. Because I was very fixated on the number on the scale. Yeah, I just wanted to see the numbers go down. So it started as a very innocent, I want to lose 5 kg. And after I lost 5 kg, I'm like, okay, I want to lose more. So it's very dangerous. It's this downward spiral. Then deeper and deeper you go into the rabbit hole. You just get very messed up because you're just like, okay, I just want to be skinny. I just want to be skinny. Skinny is everything. Yeah, so I wasn't eating. So I was severely over-exercising and severely under-eating. So obviously I lost like 20 over kilos in that nearly 3 months. I just went...
How heavy? If I can
sure.
How heavy were you at that time? And you lost 20
43.
kilos?
So I'm now 62. So basically me minus 1/3 lah. Yeah, like now you minus a third of me, like maybe half the ass gone and maybe the arms like your wrist, So it was very bad. It was very bad because I lost it in a very unhealthy way. And then I would punish myself because I tried to starve. So I was like, okay, don't eat. But I mean, we are humans, naturally will be hungry. Then when I did eat, it would become a binge. That's how I developed binge eating disorder. So I would just suddenly lose control and just eat everything, and then feel really guilty and go exercise again. So it becomes a cycle. And then soon I started to get upset with myself for not being able to tahan. Like, hey, why you go and eat? Just I can do it for 24 hours, It's mad, not drink water also, It's like, I don't know, it was just, I was so fixated. I would drink like half a cup water, then weigh myself and oh my god, I've won 200 grams. Then go exercise.
Oh my God.
It was. I just would not let the numbers on the scale go up, and then I would panic, and then I'll get very upset. That's where I started to self-harm. So I would bang my head against the wall because I'm very angry myself. Then I would scratch myself until I started bleeding. I just like got very angry at myself, and then I'm just like, why are you so stupid? Why can't you just like stop eating? And then I'll just keep going to exercise. So obviously my grades suffered. I didn't do that as well as I wanted to for A-levels. My sister walked in on me once when I was banging my head against the wall.
Okay.
She was 5 years younger, so at that time she's like, what the heck is going on? And she cried and everything, and I'm like, I don't know how to explain to her because I just like, I don't want to. And then my parents didn't know what to do. And then they didn't help by saying, they said things like, they called me a scarecrow. I think they're coming from a good place, but perhaps there's not enough at that time. Maybe they're not aware, not educated enough. There's not much education or awareness about like eating disorders or mental health or like how to cope with someone who's potentially struggling from it. So then typical Chinese parents, I mean, I don't mean to stereotype, but they just scold you, So like, I always so scarecrow. Every time I don't want to eat because I didn't eat rice at all for many years.
Wow.
Yeah, I refused. Now I like, sushi queen, But like at that time, like no rice at all. How can anyone not like rice? I'm Asian. And then my mom was like, she wanted to bring me to see a psychiatrist or a psychologist. And then at that time, so I got very defensive. I'm like, no, I'm not crazy. I'm not sick. So that's the thing. I ended up pushing away people who were closest to me. And I think that's quite common, like, because you feel like they don't understand you. So you isolate yourself from them. You alienate yourself. And that's why when I started Rock the Naked Truth, I feel that this is, like, maybe sometimes you might listen to strangers more, because especially if they had gone through the same things as you, then you can relate and you feel like, oh yeah, you understand me. So like Rock the Naked Truth is, I call it like a social message, like a reminder, like, it pops up on your feed and then you're like, oh, today you're enough. Oh, okay. So, and then it makes you feel better, and then I'll share stories of other people's struggles. So it's just like your daily inspiration to remind you that you're enough, and you shouldn't treat your body that badly, because fortunately and unfortunately you are stuck in this body for the rest of your life. Like, I hate to break it to you, but you can't change bodies. You can't like, hey, tomorrow I got photo shoot, lend me your boobs. No, you can't. You can't just take out and then put in and then and you can't like, I don't like this body, I want to change. You can't. I'm sorry. Like, you can change a lot of things in the world. You can have all the money you want. You still cannot swap bodies. Yes, you can do plastic surgery. You can change your outer appearance, but the body is still the same. You can't change the internal systems. So that period when I was 18 was really like the part where I struggled the hardest with my body.
Okay. So you were actually not fixated on induced vomiting and whatnot?
I tried, I couldn't.
Nothing can come out.
Nothing, yeah. I was very bad. So mine was more of binge eating and symptoms of anorexia, more like, you're already very skinny and you still think that you're very skinny and you still do things to diet. And then started to look skinnier and skinnier, very bony, and yeah.
But you had photos of your past. If you have seen the photos of your past and right now, how would you feel?
I feel very sad. Like, girl, you're missing out on life, man. Like, I mean, there were times when I look back, I mean, not now, but like as I as I struggled, I gained. So the timeline is 18 years old, lost 20 kg, and then 19 years old, put back everything in 1 month. So I only kept that weight for a few months because you can't sustain it. Who's going to exercise like that every day?
Yeah.
So once I started school in uni, then I put back all the weight. So I went back up. The whole 20 kg came back very fast. I took 3 months to lose it.
I agree.
Yeah, it's called the rebound effect. Because your body is in survival mode. So the body goes, oh, she has food. And then it ends up storing more than it needs. Because in survival mode, it's scared, right? Like if you don't eat anymore, so store. So your fat becomes like you gain back a lot faster.
I've been through that.
Yeah. It's very scary. So like I always tell people, you have to lose weight sustainably. Because the faster you lose it, the faster it might come back, So just make it a lifestyle and make it sustainable instead of rushing to, I mean, if you're rushing for a wedding or something, then okay, you do your crash diet and all fine, but just be prepared that it will come back lah. The timeline was I went back like 60 over kg again, which isn't fat. Oh, I'm 60 now, So it's like
not fat, what?
Exactly, but I kept thinking I was like the world's fattest person, and then somewhere halfway through uni, I started to hate how I looked again. So then I went on another low. This time I couldn't exercise as much because I hated exercising. I got burnt out. After that whole crazy like exercise 3 times a day and like how many hours a day kind, I just went. I didn't run for many years. So I went to do hot yoga or something because like you perspire. Again, went back to the scales, and then I took a lot of slimming pills this time. So I tried everything that's like slimming cream, slimming shower, fat burning gel, like the chili kind that will burn your eyes, because you rub your eyes accidentally. Everything patches. The belt, the vibrating belt. Yeah, oh my goodness, everything. I spent so much money on anything and everything that says like meal replacements, like anything that says slim down, shape up, weight loss, anything. I tried everything. Carb blockers, fat burners. I mixed pills, over-the-counter pills. I did everything. And then I somehow managed to lose not as much as before, like maybe about 10 kilos. I went down to about 50. And I stayed there for a while because I just wasn't eating. My mom calls it food tasting. You go to dinner like one bite here, one bite there, and then one bite here, and then we're done. Or another person called me a hamster. Like, and that's it, like food tasting. They were like, yeah, Cheryl only food tasting only. Like my parents just gave up. Like, okay, whatever lah, you don't eat, then it's your problem. But I think somewhere when I was approaching 30 years old, then I think your body, your metabolism is not as good as before. And then I destroyed it, right? Because I kept eating so little. And then your body just goes crazy because it has no idea what's happening. You're not giving enough nutrients, not enough calories. It's eating your muscles. Then one day I just kept putting on weight non-stop, like every 5 kg. And no matter how little I ate or how much I exercised, I couldn't lose the weight anymore. No slimming pills work anymore, nothing. Everything I tried in the past couldn't work anymore. My body just went on me, and I just started gaining weight and then getting a lot of health conditions like eczema and whatever. And I was just like, why is my body breaking down, And then I gave up on myself. I just thought like, forget it lah, I'm going to be fat forever lah. I give up. I don't know what to do anymore. I spent so much money. I've tried everything. I can't. And then I think it's an age thing also, right? As you get older, your body is. Last time you can like, you can eat everything and still lose weight. Now is you breathe air also get fat. You know what I mean? I joke, but the metabolism basically slows. It's scientific, right? It slows as you get older. So, and then I just went, okay, I'm going to be fat forever. No one's going to love me anymore. And then I gave up myself. Then that's where a friend of mine who was also struggling with her weight was like, hey, come, let me introduce you to the gym. Because all along I knew running and yoga. And at that time, this was at least 6-7 years ago, the fitness scene in Singapore is not as developed as it is now. Like now we have so many types of fitness classes, right? You have trampoline, and then you have like Muay Thai, and then you have like bar, ballet inspired. There's so many different types of fitness. Surely there's something that you will like. There's spinning in a clubbing kind of environment. No, there's no excuse anymore because everything is now so fun, you know, like it doesn't feel like exercise anymore. So at that time, different, like there wasn't as many studios as there are now. So I'm like, gym? Huh? What to do? I don't even know what to do at the gym. So scary. You go in there, you're like, and then she's like, don't worry, I have a PT. I'll give you a free session to try. So then I signed up with the PT, and then that's where he introduced me to weights. And then that's where I started to like, oh, the body can lift, like, wow, deadlift, wow, shock, this feeling, wow, I lift them heavy, then, wow, back squat, everything. Then I started to get hooked on a different type of numbers. Last time was counting calories, fat percentage, the scale, the numbers on the scale. Then now it's like, okay, I want to lift heavier, I want to run faster. And then my mindset slowly changed on its own. So I was very lucky that I found back my relationship with fitness. I've always liked fitness and exercising, right? But because I used it to help me lose weight, fitness became a chore and I hated it. And I didn't touch fitness for a long time. Then finally, I found back this love for fitness. Then now it's like a lifestyle. Like if I don't exercise, I feel weird. You know, it's like eating to me. You know, you don't eat, you feel weird. So it's become a lifestyle. And I think that's a healthy way to go about it rather than you, shit, I need to go exercise, because I ate too much. I mean, yes, you, in moderation, you really like overindulge over Christmas or something and you want to exercise a bit more, sure. But not make it like, don't be over-reliant on exercise, because your body still needs to rest. And then what if, like, you get injured or something, then the weight is going to come back, then you're going to, like, get upset and everything. So, like, fitness is a lifestyle, it should not be a chore.
Okay. When you said about being anorexic and whatnot, do you think it's prevalent in women only or just men? Or men or both?
I think the men do get it too. It's just that maybe more women are willing to talk about it, or maybe it's a pressure of society, like girls should look a certain way, like the figure, hourglass figure and all that. So I feel like it affects women more, maybe because by nature females are more vain, maybe.
Probably also based, maybe ego that men don't want to open up.
Maybe, so they don't really talk about it. I'm sure there are. They just don't want to talk about it. Or maybe they don't care. I think maybe also men's nature is more like, like, never mind, it's okay. But girls more like, So, I think it's the gender differences.
Because I hear you having like a few of these, I called it mental condition, like mental health condition. Like I hear you having anxiety, eating disorders. How do you cope? At the end of the day, how do you cope having all these and then now manage back to your own self? Do you have like? I hear also that your parents asked you to go to seek professional help, but you didn't do it. But how do you manage on your own?
So I never sought professional help in the sense that I never went for therapy. I think for me it was really a mindset shift, a very big mindset shift in myself. And the thing is, it took me a very long time. It wasn't like, and then straight away like, oh, okay, like it took me a long time to do it. And it was really the fitness relationship helped me a lot, because then I started to be very impressed with what the body can do. So I, from just doing like PT, I started going to do CrossFit. And then I did a bit of Olympic weightlifting. Like, now lift overhead, not just lift off the ground, now go up,
What's your record?
My clean and jerk, I think about 60.
Oh, okay, not bad.
Yeah. Now cannot.
Now cannot.
Yeah, now cannot. Then and then from there I started to see, the body is amazing. And then I went into the last few years, I went into triathlons. So like Ironman. So swim, bike, run all at once. So it's essentially 3 in 1 like your kopi. Yeah, 3 in 1, 3 sports in 1 sport. You have to do it all consecutively, and it's called one sport. So then I've done 12 half Ironman races and 1 full. So just for reference, for those who don't know what an Ironman is, full Ironman is you start with a 3.8 km swim in the sea, then a 180 km cycle, and then a full marathon at the end.
42.195.
Oh. So all 3 at one go. Then half is just half lah. 1.990.
What's your record?
I took 12 hours plus. Out there non-stop the whole day. My friends were texting me, wow, went out to work this morning. You just started. Come home, you're still out there. And then I was like, but I mean, it's very, very painful, but mentally and physically, I couldn't walk for a few days. But it made me feel, at the finish line, I cried because I was like, oh, it's like, you never knew that your body could do so much. Of course, we need limits lah. And I think, very cliche, but I also learned through this experience that the mind's the limit. If you say you cannot, then you cannot lah. Confirm cannot. Because you already block yourself, to success, right? Because you say cannot. So that's why when people want to, if you want to love your body, you really need to believe that you can love your body, If you keep at the back of your mind like, no lah, I'm still not good enough, then, it's very hard, right? It's very hard. So I was very lucky that I had friends to help me. And I also managed to walk out the shadows myself. You see, not some people spend their whole life struggling to love themselves and they don't succeed. Some people take one step and then 2 steps back. So it's always going to be an ongoing process. I mean, there are days when I feel horrible also, and then like don't want to go out. Not don't want to go out, but like, okay, you're supposed to wear sexy. Okay, change, wear baggier. There are days like that, right? Like your period comes, then you get a bit bloated, or you ate too much over the last week or what. So it's normal as long as you don't let it become an obsession. Because that's the problem. Like, I think I let it consume me and consume my entire life. Like, I would refuse to go out, don't want to meet people, cancel work jobs, hide at home and cry. And then it's just, and then you just disrupt your whole life because you felt like you look fat. And then, you miss out opportunities. You end up attracting very toxic relationships. Like, I only wanted to be around people who could make me popular or make me feel good, but then you end up like feeling, okay, so you kind of feel like, okay, I'm so terrible, but if this person still wants me in a relationship, then I stay. Then even though you know that you're not good for each other, or like he's, there's emotional abuse in some form, but you still feel like, he want me better than nobody want me, right? And then you're very good already, got somebody want you very good already, then you stay, and then you shortchange yourself. Yeah. And then you start to settle, like not just in romantic relationships, but even with people, interpersonal relationships. I'm a terrible friend, right? Because I used to scold friends who are skinny. Yeah, because I resented them. I look at them, I'm like you eat as much as me or more. You don't exercise. Why are you half my size? Then I'll find ways to pick fights with them.
Wow.
Yeah, I've lost friendship that cannot salvage already lah. Yeah, cannot already. I tried. I mean, not easy but I mean, so... Because I was a very terrible friend, and like even my own sister, she's like, if you're my friend, I would have ditched you long ago. But too bad I'm stuck with you. So that's why people, it's not just a superficial thing, it's not just about your weight or how you look or the dress size, it's also how you are as a person. Because when you are very inferior about yourself and you're very insecure, it's spirals off into a lot of things, like you become very mean to people because you need to put people down to feel better. That's one. Or maybe you feel like you just like, okay, whatever lah, your life's really like that. I don't think you give up on life. They just go around like just, going through the motion. So it's more than just the weight, it's everything about life, Yeah.
So meaning, if let's say we have family or friends who knows somebody with eating disorders, how do you think they can help them? Or what type of questions would be helpful to look out for, or
Oh, this is very tricky because I think I'm no expert, I'm not a professional in this field, but based on personal experience, only drawing from my own experiences, right? Please don't suggest going to see a doctor right off the bat.
Okay. Like
ease into it, okay? Yes, because I think the word therapy is still a stigma.
Stigma.
Yeah. I think it's great. Therapy is great. I think that what some people are trying to do now is try to neutralize the word that therapy is just going to speak to someone, It doesn't mean that you have a problem. It doesn't mean that you're sick. It's just, you need to sort out stuff in your head and you want to speak to someone. And sometimes, like I said, it's better to speak to a stranger. That's why some people enjoy going to see the therapist, because it's like, oh, nobody's going to judge me. And because if I know you, I already have some certain preconceived notions about you, you always like that one, then... but when you go to someone neutral, someone objective, then it will help. So I'm all for therapy. Like I think, but the thing is, people might get very defensive when you say like, I think you're wrong, man. You should go and see a therapist. Then they immediately their gut comes out, right? Then that's it already. You can't reach them. So maybe, try to, at that time, nobody tried to talk to me and ask me like why or what am I trying to achieve, how they can help me, you know. People just were like, ayo, you lose so much already, so skinny, no need lah. Then why you don't want to eat? Then, you know, it becomes, I feel very attacked. So when you feel very attacked, you will, like, don't go away, leave me alone. Then they will isolate themselves further. Of course, everybody is different. You know, some might refuse to speak up. But I think it's more of trying to understand. I think trying to understand where the root of this obsession, where is it coming from? Like, could it be because like the parents always put them down, make fun of them, like, yeah, you're so fat, you still eat so much, don't eat so much. You know what I mean? Like, then stop saying that to her lah, you know, like stop saying that to your kid, you know. So what is that? So I think for me was it's the very, very early source was, I think when I had my first like boyfriend. I say boyfriend because Aya at that time, you know, like all this puppy love stuff. Then he broke up with me because I wasn't pretty or hot enough. So I think it started from there. Okay. Yeah, so you know, like the thing is, when you talk, then you bring back the trauma, then you're like, oh, then you trace it back. So it's more of like sitting down and, okay, you know, I see that you're struggling with your food. Do you want to talk about it? Maybe we can, you know, see where it's coming from. It has to come from somewhere. Someone said something to you, someone did something to you, and then all the other societal influences come in. Wow, you see MTV videos. Wow, now social media every day open.
Wow.
It's instant. I used to put supermodels on my phone screensaver, and it's not gonna help.
Yeah.
You know. Then slowly, like, okay, if you can let me help you, how can I help you? Let's take this step by step. Do you want to help yourself? You know, why do you hate your body so much? Then maybe sign up for a new hobby together. So take the focus away from. I always feel like when you set goals and you work towards something, it helps to take your mind off like the food and the weight, and also build confidence. Maybe you have to start very subtle. Like maybe let's go and do a new activity to help you build confidence. Like, okay, let's go and try like weightlifting. Then you see the progression, then you might feel better. Then, you know, they start to set goals. They feel that there's a motive in life, a purpose in life. I think that's what was the problem for me. I just, nothing to do, or like didn't care about anything else, just wanted to be skinny. But if you take my mind off that and like, hey, let's go and learn, I don't know, wakeboarding, then wow, I start to do more things. Then, oh wow, then, you know, maybe you might focus more on that. Then, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's a distraction tactic lah. Yeah, something like that. And also giving the assurance that, that's why I think you have to see what is causing this. Is it because like at home someone keeps putting you down, or your own boyfriend keeps comparing you to other people? Then it's not easy to trace this though. And then maybe down the line, then maybe you can say, would you like to speak to someone about it? Maybe not, there maybe a hotline, you know, call someone, speak to someone.
Yeah, like the listening service that, you know, starts here.
Exactly, which is, because then it's a step between the therapist and, you see, it's not directly, because I think it really, people will get very defensive when they go like, I'm not sick. And then, or some cannot afford. You see, that's the thing, because it's not cheap.
Yeah.
Yes, there are public services, but then, you know, maybe like, I'm not sure about like the appointment times or whatever. Ooh, sorry. But in general, like therapy is not cheap, right? Yeah. So at the same time, it's about making it more accessible. And so at least like the hotline helps. So at least I think it just needs to start with, can you talk to someone about it? Then if this person can help you trace and help you like, okay, so why are you feeling like that? Or why do you do that? Why do you refuse to eat? Because you are worried of getting fat. Why are you scared of getting fat? You know, like, and then slowly, you won't get answers immediately. Sometimes they may not speak out immediately, but down the road, then sometimes can be something major in life happen and then they become like that, you know. I always feel like it's tied to loss of confidence somewhere. Could be you lost a loved one, you know, or maybe you did very badly in school, and also some people, I think, this is the one thing they can control. Because it's my weight, it's my body, you see. But if everything else, like, you know, at home, my parents are like that, in school, it's like that. Everyone wants something out of me, expects this from me, and then I cannot control anything because you're all dictating my life for me, right? So fine, I'm just going to control what I can, which is my weight. Yeah. So there's so many different possible explanations for why they're feeling like that. But it's about, have to be very, very patient though. Because it will take time. Some may not open up for a long time.
Maybe last advice for people who are having eating disorders?
I just want to say that your body is your responsibility. You know, you only have, I don't want to nag too much, but you only have one body, and no matter how I nag at you, how he nags at you, how anyone preaches, we cannot force you to do anything. Like, you are still in charge of your own actions. So it's how much you want it. Is, you know, if you say you want to love yourself, then take those steps towards loving yourself. You know, start by, like I said, pick up a new sport, find new goals, keep yourself motivated. I think sometimes because, you know, we go through life very very blah, right? Lack of inspiration, lack of motivation, and then you like don't know what to do. Try something new. Doesn't have to be expensive. You know, you can maybe start by, I know, cycling. Like, you go and rent those bicycles, and I don't know, just pick up something new, swimming, whatever. And also be willing to open up and talk about emotions. I know it's very difficult. Some people avoid talking about emotions because they are afraid of emotions. But I think the advice I have is really, there's no right or wrong. There's nothing that you say can be wrong. We are all different. We have different kind of struggles. You know, whether if you have a trusted friend or an adult that you can speak to, great. If you don't, there's the hotline here for you to call. I think this is a fantastic initiative. I think the whole point is people want to feel safe. Then they are willing to open up and get to know emotions, and emotions are friends. Like, don't be scared of them. It's more of, the more you understand your emotions, the less scared you feel about them. I think, at least that's what I think. So, go on and don't be afraid to be yourself, really, because YOLO, it's cliche, but it's really YOLO. You don't want to wait until you're 50, then you're like, I spent 30 years of my life worrying about being skinny. Now I'm old already, I'm sick, and then now that I can't worry, you know, don't regret that. You know, you really only going to go through life once. No, who knows when next time you're going to come back as an animal, then how, you know? I mean, so just go on and live the life that you want. Within limits, of course. I'm not saying go crazy, but within limits you want, and take care of your health, because, again, very cliche, but health is wealth. You know, like, if you don't want to, if you like don't treat your body right now, you will pay for it later. Like, I mean, like, I didn't get my period for a long time when I was younger because I wasn't eating, so there was a risk of infertility, all these sorts of things, you know. So please, you, at that age, you feel like, infertile, never mind, next time don't need kids. No, don't say first. You might want kids next time, you know. So and there might be other things that's going on in your body. So youth is on your, if youth is still on your side, I mean, 30 plus is still considered young. I feel. So
35 and below are considered youth.
Okay, oh wow, I'm 35. Woo, I just made the cut. So yes, I think the strongest advice I have is go on and live the life you want and be the person you want to be. And don't worry about how you look, because that should be secondary. When you take care of yourself, you live a happy life. You know, you actually lose weight, you know, because stress is one of the causes of weight gain as well. Get enough sleep, you know, practice mindfulness. Now there's so many resources. And speak to someone. Just go and talk to someone about it.
Yep. All right. Yes, there you have it. You have heard from Cheryl about her struggles and how she overcame it. Like, her advice is also very good because no matter how distressed you are with your disorders, you must be able to listen to people and open up. And I guess that's a very good advice from Cheryl. Yep. So maybe thank you, Cheryl, for sharing your story with us. We have reached to the end of the podcast, and through this conversation from Cheryl from Rock the Naked Truth movement, we are able to learn a thing or two about her lived experience and living the labelled life. So to all listeners out there, let's catch up again for the next episode of Labelled Life Podcast by allstartshere.sg next week. So I'm Magic Bo, your host, signing out. Peace. Thank you, Cheryl.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Labelled Life Podcast, a podcast by ethnicity. You can follow ethnicity on our Instagram and Facebook. And remember, our earbuds are always here for you if you need a listening ear.